What is up? Optimus Scoob here, bringing some Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer gameplay. This past weekend, I was able to dive in and play the beta very extensively, being able to play the different modes in the game. And I just want to share my feedback and opinions on the current state of the game. First off, this is a pretty good game. There are some issues and things that I don't like, but I think it's just the way the game is intended to designed. Yesterday, Infinity Ward came out with their response to the feedback of the game, and they basically made some points as far as their intentions to the game and where we're possibly going for this year. Almost 2 years of Modern Warfare 2 coming up. First off, they talked about the mini-map, adding the red dots back. They're not going to seem like they've made the last stand on that right now, at least. They're not going to change the mini-map back to the traditional mini-map. I don't have a problem with that. I fairly enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019.
Requesting recon flyover.
Pretty much when I played that throughout its entire cycle. And then some. I mean, I still have it now, and I play it periodically. But of course, when this comes out, I won't be playing it that much. Yeah, so there's been a lot of talk about that in the community as far as their stand on that. I think it's just the way, I think it's, I don't like it, but I mean, of course, it's the way they designed the game. And they came out and said, it just seems like they want to protect certain players, particularly the campers. And that's fine. There's a game like this, you got to learn how to adapt. And play style is you can rush, but you got to be strategic with it almost. You can't rush around the map because for one, the footsteps are very, very loud. And I'll speak on that next. But I think the decision of sticking with the non-traditional mini-map in the long run, because like I said, I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2019 just as fine without the mini-map. And then, it seems like they're going to stick with that. Next, the footsteps. The footsteps in this game right currently, the previous weekends were very, very loud, and it just made the experience feel like a chore to play for the most part. And it's frustrating in some games where I would be getting smacked around because obviously I was getting pre-aimed. Just the enemy who was basically waiting for me to come around the corner, and I, over a period of time in beta, I started doing it too. I felt past 2 years I've been playing Cold War and Vanguard, and in those games, you can camp, you can rush, and I'm I primarily try to mix it up a little bit, but especially in Vanguard, I created some bad habits, so I tried coming in to the beta this past weekend, just rushing, and I was getting slapped around. So I took a different approach, took a step back, and of course when I started learning the ins and outs of the map, flowing the maps, I was able to start getting better. So I think they said they're going to reduce the sound of the footsteps, which is good because the game. I mean, it's already the TTK is already fast. When you mix that with the footsteps being loud, it's almost like you're playing a hardcore version of the mode. I mean, of the game when you're not really playing. I mean, and also, I mean, I play games like Rainbow Six and Seriously Sandstorm, and those are some hardcore games. And it's like, am I playing Call of Duty or Rainbow Six or Seriously Sandstorm? So I'm glad that they're going to dial back the volume. At least it should open up the possibility of moving around the maps a little bit more easier in certain spots. So we'll see how that goes. Next thing they said they're going to fix is the visual recoil. It is darn near impossible to track your enemies right now. In the current state, especially with if you don't have a scope on your gun with the M4 and everything, it's dang near impossible to track your enemy. And I mean, it's almost like you're blind firing. You'll see the enemy, and then the smoke and debris from the guns, you're shooting your gun just starts flying all in the screen, and it's almost like spraying prey. So it's I'm glad that they're going to be changing that, you know, going forward. But yeah, it's a pretty good game, man. It's not like Vanguard, of course, or Cold War. Like I said, it's very, you have to take your time, being everywhere pretty much. And you gotta you gotta have some good headphones on, because if you don't have headphones on, or good, at least decent headphones, you won't be able to track where, you know, where the footsteps come from, or you know, you don't have good headphones, your immersion is gonna be kind of suffer, and you won't be able to have good, you know, good gameplays, you know, and have overall good experience. See, got the final kill there of the other player, but yeah, I went kill death ratio of 2.33. Now, I'll have a game like this, and you know, the following couple of games, I'll get smacked around, and I guess it's just the process of the infamous skill-based matchmaking. But you know, it is what it is at this point. They also talked about fixing the UI for the game, which is kind of it is kind of convoluted and kind of confusing. And I like the way it looks. It's just as far as navigating the menus with trying to find your weapons and the gunsmith and everything. I mean, they had it pretty at a good spot with the previous Call of Duties with Vanguard and Cold War. So I mean, I understand they were trying to do something different, but I hope they can iron this out soon, and you know, get back, you know, being able to navigate the menus with ease. Next thing, they were talking about the enemy plates that are nameplates over the enemies when you're shooting at the enemies. That's another part of the visual feedback of when you're playing the game. It's I don't think they're going to do nameplates across the enemies' heads. They said they want to try something different this weekend, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays. Because overall, to me, it's like the game feels like Modern Warfare 2019, but more hardcore. And I think with the changes that they're going to make this upcoming weekend that we're going to see, it might dial it back a little bit to where it'll be a little bit more not as hardcore in the core modes. But here we are with the third person mode, and I really enjoyed this mode. It reminded me of Gears of War and SOCOM, and I played those games heavily on the Xbox and the SOCOM back in the day. So I was surprised how good it played. And I played Modern Warfare 2009 third person mode, and I didn't play that much. So one of the things that I hope that they do with this mode is when you're zooming in, so you know, right there when you go down sight right there, it stays over the shoulder, because currently the L3 button is tied to your switching the shoulders, so it's mixed with the jarring feeling of aiming down sight and trying to keep your tracking the enemy. If you're going around the corner and you're trying to peek around the corner to get the drop on the enemy, you have to click L3. And I mean, trying to do that during a gunfight, I noticed, there's a chance you can lose the gunfight because your shoulder switch back over to the other shoulder. But overall, I think we are in for a good year of Call of Duty. I think this game is going to be pretty solid once it comes out, and it's just going to be one of those years or 2 years where you have to adapt and play certain ways. Because one thing I've noticed, there's some matches where it's actually campy, and then there's some matches where the enemy team, they're running the gun in two. So you got to be able to, when you're playing the game, you got to be able to pick up on it quick. Because there was a couple of matches during this past weekend where we were down, and because we were rushing all over the place, the other team was camping and holding sight lines down. So I started doing it. My other team started doing it, and we came back. And there were a lot of games like that where it became very competitive. Like here we are, right here. I got the drop on them, but then I think double kill right there. But the variety of matches, you got to be able to pick up on that, because it can become frustrating when you're running around the map nonstop and you're thinking that, you know, this game sucks, and it really it does suck, you know, when you're getting dropped like that, knocked around. But you got to be able to adapt on the fly, because you know you might run into a team that, especially if you're running against a clan or people that are partied up. You know, most of the time when you run into that, they're in sync and they're communicating, and it might have 1 or 2 players on the team that's rushing, and other couple of players on the team that are, you know, camping and being sentinels. And it's so it's definitely going to be a year of adjusting on the fly. Overall, like I said, I'm happy. You know, we're finally coming up on a new Call of Duty this year. I'm going to be bringing more content to the channel, especially with this game. I know over the past couple of years I've been playing, you know, various Call of Duties throughout the year, and I'm going to be keeping playing Vanguard, because I love the. Although Vanguard got a lot of hate because of the time period that it picked, I played a lot of that last year, and I think it's going to be one of those games that I'm going to continue to play. I'm going to let my gameplay finish over here in the third-person mode. You guys take it easy. Also, if you like, comment, leave a comment, and like the video. Subscribe if you want to, and take it easy.